Hello, everybody. This is Steve Yoder, and this is the third video in the Researching Nonprofits module of your Business Research Toolkit course. We will be looking at several things. First, the importance of public universities and why you might want to research them, given the importance of them in our country and our society. What is the federal government's regulation of their effectiveness that causes them to publish certain things that can be used in your research, and that there are no Form 990s for, so we need to look for other sources. Public research universities are a very important part of our economy and our society. In the state of Alabama, for example, it is estimated that UAB alone provides a $12.1 billion economic impact, and 107,000 jobs are created as a result of UAB. In terms of society generally, not just economy, UAB's healthcare enterprise has provided enormous benefits to Birmingham, the state, the country, and the world. Just as one example of many, the UAB is widely known around the world for its research in cystic fibrosis. The U.S. Department of Education regulates higher education institutions by regulating the accreditors for those institutions. A university, a college, has to be accredited in order to be open. So, regulating accreditors gives the U.S. government an indirect way of regulating colleges and universities. And the U.S. Department of Education has a center called the National Center for Education Statistics that gathers a great deal of data that comes through the accreditation and other reporting processes. Once again, as we've talked about in prior videos, what you're looking for will determine where you look. You will not be able to use a Form 990 for a public university. You can use it for a private university that is really a public charity like Samford or Birmingham Southern. Here are the types of statistics, the type of information that you get from the National Center for Education Statistics of the U.S. Department of Education. Stop, pause, look at these. Some very key indicators here of success, including graduation rates, for example. This is what the NCES website would look like. I encourage all of you on your own to navigate through this. As you know from your own experience with other websites, you don't figure it out unless you actually do it yourself. But you would go to the menu and you would go to data and tools. And if you wanted to find information about a particular school or college, which is what we're all about here, you'd go to that particular tab and you would look at IPED's data center. IPED stands for the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System, and you would look for a particular college by clicking up here. And once you click there, you would find this page. This is called College Navigator. And let's say we wanted to look at information about UAB. We would type that school into the navigation bar, and this is the hyperlink that would come up about UAB. And look at all the information here on UAB. Just a wealth of information that should meet whatever need you have for looking at UAB. let's say you wanted to look at enrollment for some reason, just if you wanted to know how many students were there, if you were considering going there, and you wanted to know was it a large school or not a large school. And here are some pie and bar charts about the enrollment at UAB, male, female, full-time, part-time, and some demographic information as well. Very helpful. If you wanted to compare various colleges or universities against one another, there's a tool for doing that. You can see here, these are some of the larger universities in Alabama that you could compare on several metrics like graduation rate, the annual cost, and what your median earnings would be expected to be after you graduated. Another very helpful tool for researching a college or university would be their own offices of institutional effectiveness and analysis that they are required to have. And this is UAB's web page for its IE&A office. You can see this is a little bit out of date because they have as an upcoming date of October 18th when they will be collecting their IPEDS information that we just looked at a couple of slides ago. But the key and most helpful for your research place to look in an IE&A page, in this case for UAB, would be in the facts and figures page. So if you clicked on that, you'd come to this electronic report. This could also be produced in hard copy, but of course most people go to the online report, and this is the most recently available report for UAB for the period 2022 to 2023. And if you were to look inside that report, you would see these links for some very, very helpful information about UAB. This is the link on financial and physical resources. You can see that there are also tabs for student information and faculty and staff information. But let's say we wanted to look at their financials, just as we looked at financials for non-colleges and universities by looking at the Form 990 published by the IRS. Here's the place to look for financial information about colleges and universities. And here's UAB's 2021 information. Revenues, expenses, and there is other financial information as well. Let's say that you wanted to look at what the composition of the first-time freshman class was. Here you can see that in this IE&A report for UAB, mean ACT score, mean high school GPA, and the number coming from Jefferson County, for example, a great deal of information. Where exactly you look, once again, determines what your need is. Most states also have online so-called open records information. For example, in Alabama, if you search for UAB expenditures online, you could find out what their vendors are paid, how much individuals who work there are paid. There's a great deal of information if you look for it. So, in conclusion, after looking at this video and the prior videos, if you have any questions, please use the Canvas mail tool to send me a mail message, and I will attempt to answer your question. Best of luck to you.